Hello and welcome to episode 61 of this Let's Play series. We are playing Thea the Awakening. And in the last episode we play around with designing a new building, and we settled on building a new cabbage patch with the hope of attracting new children, because the other options were were less obvious. And so now we also just pick up a whole bunch of food on our way back to trade with the elves. So let's continue to do so. That is very interesting. So I don't know what this means. Let's just go through with it. Ah. We acquired two new piconets. That's awesome. And we gained a bunch of gathering on our people, which is also awesome. So now this has become a expedition of 20. Well, that's still the same. Here we gain some people though. So these guys don't really gather much. They do build some though. So let's get them crafting juggies. As far as equipment goes, they can't equip anything, so that'll just be here. It's excellent. So we actually gain 2 piconet over there, and we gain some stats over this way. So let's continue on to meet with the elves, which is up here. We're moving slowly because we don't have all the fancy food that we used to have. We trade them all to the elves, which is fine.
There has been an increase in vermin in your village over the last few days. You have dealt with the rodents, but your wise ones tell you they were not healthy. Just as they feared, your men begin to fall ill one by one, and soon the whole village is affected.
Let's try to beat the thing.
Your village medic has their hands full, but thanks to the supply of herbs, they are able to battle the disease with a full arsenal.
We should be able to do this pretty well. So that's the kill. It's just counter tactic straight out. The piconet's actually pretty good here.
Your medics did not sleep or eat until every man, woman and child was tended to. Their vigorous attack on the sickness paid off, and everybody is back on their feet in no time.
These guys actually gain some health, which is good.
As you look around and admire the world, you see something of interest in the distance.
Let's take a
You
closer
spot
look.
the outlines of a tall tower on the horizon.
Is that on our way? Yes, it is. Let's go visit it. And if we find something like exotic fruit, I think we'll go and grab some of those too to help with our movement. Oh, we are over encumbered. Not sure how that happens, but we are. by quite a bit. By 4,000. That's a lot. We just destroyed this. That was strange. By 4,000. That's a whole lot. I didn't realize how over encumbered we are. I'm guessing some of the strength blessing dissipated. Get rid of like 1,500 of these. Such a waste. So need another 500 or so. Let's go and just destroy that. One, 36.9. Destroy another 100 of those. So wasteful. Okay. That was so bad. Okay, so we finished our cabbage patch. I guess we'll put our effort into making food again. There we go. Try to grab some new armors. Do have some more mithril. Actually, instead of diamond, can we use obsidian? We cannot. That's really nice. And we can make 2 of them. So let's make some. Take 5 turns. Okay. Let's go back to our expedition over here. Let's go and look at this suspicious tower. Actually, let's go trade with the Elves. Before that, we'll go and camp here and get a bunch of this stuff. Hopefully that would get us to enough to have 7 movements. just need one more. Let's come here. We'll camp. Get everybody gathering nuts. Okay, this time we actually had 7 movement, which is nice. We actually see some it's a pretty big stack there, but I think we'll do okay. So in the meantime, let's create a new expedition from here to go trade with the elves. And we'll bring pretty much everybody except for maybe the rat. Then, resource wide, split the wood. And let's just take this stuff. Let's leave 100 of these behind. Okay. So we'll leave the important stuff behind. Well, not the important stuff, but the varieties behind, and just carry the bulk with us. We'll create that expedition. They're out of movement. Let's manage here. He can gather some more nuts. Expedition 2 has 6 movement. Let's go and talk with the elves.
You find the hidden forest of Silver Oak. It feels like an enchanted land, removed from grim reality. There are not many elves here yet, but you see small groups arriving all the time. You can trade supplies, or train your people.
Let's just train.
You are taken up into the crown of a great oak tree, and atop the canopy, you are faced with an elven mistress of magic.
I assume that we'll be okay. That may be an invalid assumption. A spear over here, 7. Let's use that. That's actually not quite enough. We'll play 2 more. Let's get this guy closer. So that should be enough. That's a level 6. Do a counter offense of 8. It's fine. Let's get our 10 attack. Do a counter offense of 16. And 11. That way we have a lot more chance to just attack. No good counter tactics. So just get more of these guys out. I think that should be sufficient.
You prove to be apt students, and you feel the winds of magic flowing within you.
That's just a blessing. Let's ask for some teaching.
The elven mistress of magic sings you a song of the old days, and as her voice soothes your souls, you feel knowledge flowing inside you, and your will strengthened.
The will strengthen. Arrogantship is good. Folklore is good. Let's do that again.
You find the hidden forest of Silver Oak. It feels like an enchanted land, removed from grim reality. There are not many elves here yet, but you see small groups arriving all the time.
Let's
You
talk to
can
the
trace
elf
signs,
this time.
Or, you who have aided our cause, take this map so that it may guide you to better yourself.
And last time we choose to destroy the thing and doesn't do anything. So this time when we go there, let's see if we can
There are old shrines scattered.
Do something else instead. So that's the place of interest. That's actually pretty near us. There's a bunch of these things here that we should look at as well.
You find the hidden forest of Silver Oak. It feels like an enchanted land, removed from grim reality.
Let's do this again.
There are not. You are taken up into the crown.
And again, if you find this part boring, please go ahead and skip ahead. I do want to see if there is any changes to the outcome, because sometimes we get wills and folklore and sometimes we get other things, so I'm just trying to see if we can actually get some magic. And instead of doing that, let's just tank the damage. Add an attack of our own. Cancel some offense. That's all fine. Another attack. Oh, there's actually a counter tactic here of 7 from the elf. Just counter offense. Okay, now that's out the way, let's go ahead and get the stabby guys out. We don't have much stabby things left.
prove to be apt students, and you feel the winds of magic flowing within you.
So this is the important ones here.
The elven mistress of magic sings you a song of the old days, and as her voice soothes your souls, you feel knowledge flowing inside you and your will strengthened.
So I guess this way we only get folklore, will, and animal kinship. Those are the only ones we've seen so far. Do want to check. Let's filter on animal kinship. Let's do none right now. Animal kinship. Folklore and will. Some of these guys have a lot now. Looks like everyone has a little bit of something. But they don't all have that. So let's do this a couple more turns. And let's hope that they can all get what they need.
Forest of Silver Oak. It feels like an enchanted land. You are taken up into the crown of a great...
That should be a kill. Get this guy out. That's a nice counter tactic. I guess that's probably no longer a kill. That's 15. Which is fine. I should shield allies a little bit. Then last through that attack. You got 13 hit out. Counter some more offense. Okay, now we can just let some of these guys out. Promise, these guys hit for so little. I feel like I need to get a bunch of them out just so that we don't have to fight this over again. Even though they only have like a couple cards.
You prove to be apt students, and you feel the winds of magic flowing.
Do this again.
The elven mistress does not continue her lessons. Instead, she sends a hunter to teach you about animal kinship.
We've seen this before as well, and interesting to see if we get some other kind of reaction from them too.
You
Do that
find
again.
the hidden forest of Silver Oak. It feels like an enchanted land, removed from grim reality. There are not many elves here yet, but you see small groups arriving all the time. You can trade supplies, or train your people.
We cannot train anymore. So let's join them
You
in
are
meditation.
invited to join a circle of elves as the meditation has strengthened your willpower.
Excellent. So I'm guessing
You
each
find
of
the
these.
hidden forest of Silver Oak. It feels like an enchanted land removed from grim reality. There are not many elves here yet, but you see small groups arriving all the time. You can trade supplies or train your people.
Each of these options seems to have a counter with them, which is great.
You hand over the food, and one of the elves approaches with a crate filled with wood. These are cherished fruits of our groves. Use them well, younglings.
Thank you.
You find the hidden forest of Silver Oak. It feels like an enchanted land removed from... You hand over the food, and what...
Okay, I wonder how
You find the hidden forest of Silver
many times
Oak.
we can do
It
that.
feels like an You hand over the food, and... You find the hidden forest of Silver Oak.
Produce
It feels like an enchanted
at least one more
land
time.
removed from grim reality. There are not many elves here yet, but you see small groups arriving all the time. You hand over the food, and one of the elves approaches with a crate filled with wood. These are cherished fruits of our grove. You find the hidden forest of Silver Oak. It feels like an enchanted land removed from grim reality. There are not many elves here yet, but you see small groups arriving all the time. You can trade supplies or train your people.
This is an interesting option because we don't have children in our group, but we still have the option, so I'm afraid to click on it.
You hand over the food, and one of the elves approaches with a crate.
We still have a lot of food left.
You find the hidden forest of... You hand over the food, and one of the elves...
Right, we still have like 8,000 left.
You find the hidden forest of... You hand over the food, and... You find the hidden forest of Silver Oak. It feels like... You hand over the food, and one... You find the hidden forest of Silver Oak. You hand over the food, and one of the elves...
Yeah, a couple more times, I think. Actually, one thing I do want to do is make sure we do not burn any of these.
You find the hidden forest. You hand over the food, and one of the elves... You find the hidden forest of Silver. You hand over the food, and one of the elves...
So we get a lot of
You find the hidden forest of... You hand over the food,
lot of ancient
and one
wood
of the
now.
elves approaches with a crate filled... You find the hidden... You hand over the food, and one
Apparently-
of the elves approaches with a crate filled with wood.
apparently that option does not have a low counter like the other ones. So let's do this one more time.
You find the hidden... You hand over the food, and one of the elves...
Okay. So that is that. Let's go and join our expedition over here. Let's get the good gathering people, gather the stuff. And let's end our turn.
The night is quiet and calm. You feel the grumbling of the earth, and you fear Mokosh's wrath is upon you. But this tremor feels somehow different, less natural.
This choice is different before we have it down here, so let's try this.
You know earthquakes to be the wrath of your Earth Mother, Mokosh, but
So this is actually at home, I believe. Let's get this one out. 3. This one out, and that is a level 5. Make sure that we get it. There we go. Get that one too. Basically, the less cards we have to deal with, the better. If we can trade one card for one, our advantage, which is multiply.
There is a series of distant thuds and groans, then several short yet violent rhythmic While the men slept well this night, some of the women, well, they sleep very, very well. Visited thusly by a bybedder perching by their bedside, the women's dreams are filled with passion and desire, burning their bodies like a red flare.
Bybedder, what is that again?
An old wives' tale talks about the Pazilosnik, known as the bybedder, a fiendishly handsome house demon, said to visit the good-hearted young women and lure them onto the path of corruption. In truth, the bybedder is not fussed about the goodness of his betrothed ones, and it is not so much a path of corruption he leads to, it is more a death by passion that fills him with power.
That's a use of folklore skill.
Those under the demon's seductive spell will still have to try to free themselves from his clutches, but their fight should now be much easier.
Let's do that. Okay. Let's shuffle once. There you go, that's much better. They do attack 10. We can confuse it. I guess that should do.
The task was not easy, but it seems you outsmarted your opponent. After indulging in a night of unspoiled pleasure and ecstasy, you managed to use the heights of your passion to strike down the bybedder and banish him from your bedchambers. The demon runs off, but he has a huge smile on his face, and so do the women who fought him. A child is found in the village the next day.
So we gain a child, and these gals, I guess, gain attractiveness and will, which is great. And they also get a bless of magic. Let's call it an episode here. So we'd actually, before we do that, let's break the camp here and let's head over this way and look at these a little bit. I don't know what that is, but let's attack them. This is why I should have end the episode beforehand. It does 36 damage. Oh, 36 hit points, I should say. Can play 3 more. Let's get a hammer and a shield. And counter tactic. So those kills so far. So let's not worry too much about it. Let's get another hammer out. And a shield. And counter another tactic. 6 is fine. Counter one more tactic. Okay, that's a 20 points. Let's see if we can kill that right off. Let's bring up a shield. Just counter tactic 2. Let's get another spear out. Let's count an offense of 3 and see what happens. That works. I think we have this in the back. Alright. Get a bunch of trinkets. We'll have to disassemble them later. Have 3. I would like to get some fruit up here though. So let's move up once. We'll camp here. Let's gather some fruit. And some nuts. And we just need this to get to 220 or so. Just power on nuts. Okay, and then we'll explore this a little bit, come back and check out the other thing in the next turn. Oh, and we built a new armor. Let's go ahead and equip that to one of our people. It's this one. It's just significantly better than everything that we currently have, which is nice. Oh, let's clear the filters too. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.